We're on a cacao farm in the Dominican Republic right now, and this is one of the farms that works with Zorzal, which is a place that Manoa Chocolate purchases a lot of our dried seed from. And in comparison to Hawaii, this is really interesting because these trees are kind of let go. They're much taller, they produce much less, it's a lot harder to harvest, but this is really common. So everything in this area, all the trees are somewhere between 10 and 15 years old, which is surprising. I first saw them and thought they were older because the trunks are quite large, and you can see they're unruly and really hard to get to the pods. We just found out that this area produces about 500 kilos every hectare, so that's almost 2.5 acres. In Hawaii, we're expecting to get almost 1 ton per acre, so we would expect 2.5 tons for the same amount of area, and we would keep our trees much lower so that when we roll through the orchards, it's very fast to harvest, very accessible. So right now I'm looking 10, 15 feet up, and you would need a really long pole with a sharp hook on the end, and you'd be spending 10, 15 plus seconds on some of these fruit trying to get them to fall to the ground, whereas the trees that we're working on our own plantations would be very quick, where you would walk up and it would be at this level, and the stem is long enough that you could easily grab the pod. The stem is called the peduncle, which is kind of a funny cacao word, and then you would be able to quickly cut it, drop it on the ground, and move on to the next one. So instead of taking 10 to 15 seconds per fruit, we're talking about 1, maybe 2 seconds per fruit. And when you have thousands of fruit you're trying to harvest in a day, that really adds up. But that requires a lot more maintenance year round. So this is just an interesting contrast to the way we're doing it in Hawaii. This is definitely the norm. Really neat looking old trees. And this is a different kind of color. You can see it's still very underripe. It's not a normal color for cacao that we'd be used to.